Friday has safely arrived. It's the 15th day of August, 2025. I am Dan Kuntz. As you can see behind me, it doesn't feel like the middle of August. Doesn't look like the middle of August. We don't see this too often, but here we go. Lots of clouds today, cooler temperatures, spittles of rain off and on throughout the course of the day today. We need the rain. We need a lot of rain. We're not going to get a lot of rain, but we'll take whatever we can get. It's going to be just spittles of rain off and on throughout the course of the day today. Some locations will see slightly heavier showers than others. And then the bigger rains, the heavier rains, and again, really not heavy, but certainly more consistent, persistent rain will be in the overnight hours tonight. Then we'll dry out on Saturday afternoon. Forecast details are coming up, but it's kind of feels good to smell the rain in the air, especially this time of the year. It doesn't happen too often. We got some news for you in sports. The Mariners played a game that counted and they didn't win. Seahawks play a game that doesn't count tonight against the Chiefs at Lumen Field. Eric is in Seattle to produce the radio broadcast. So Eric Granstrom will give us a preview of that. Big weekend at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval as well. And I had a chance to head to the Wenatchee High School courtyard a couple of days ago to have a nice conversation with the superintendent of the Wenatchee School District, Corey Callahar. School starts in less than 2 weeks. Starts early this year, August 27th, and of course they got, like all school districts everywhere, some budget concerns, as you might imagine, and some other things to talk about with Corey, our traditional back-to-school interview that'll air in the back half of the program. Let's take our tour and see what we have out there today. That's what we have right now. A couple of spots of blue sky, and that's really about it. And again, off and on rain throughout the course of the day today. The heaviest rain in the forecast will be while we're all sleeping. That includes me, but it might be a nice night to open up the windows just because I just like the smell of the rain because it's been so long. We hit 87 yesterday, our normal high 87, so right at normal. Our overnight low was 66, our normal overnight low was 62. So all in all, it was about normal yesterday. Today, definitely abnormal. Our second camera from the valley. Ooh, beautiful view there. I'm thinking that's the Stein Hill camera flipped around and headed towards Peshastin, or perhaps that's the monitor camera. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's got to be the monitor camera now. Yeah, that's the monitor camera. I'm not very bright sometimes. There's Highway 2, there's Cashmere off in the distance, and on your way up to Peshastin, the Wenatchee River doing its thing, the orchards hanging around. Peaches are still on the trees, the apples are still growing. They won't get to those for a few months, and then of course they wrap things up with the pears. Go orchards, sit there and just grow away. Camera number 3. Ooh, I think that's up near Waterville. I want to say that's up near Waterville. I think that's the Waterville camera. Might be the Rude Canyon camera is what I'm thinking of. By the way, the McNeil Canyon project, they're straightening out McNeil Canyon, making it much safer on that very steep grade that takes you from Orondo up to Waterville. The other way, of course, is the Pine Canyon, and there's the McNeil Canyon. The McNeil Canyon project is on hold. The contractor is dealing with a strike, which has put a lot of projects on hold in the Tri-Cities and in Spokane, and so for the time being, the McNeil Canyon project is not happening. It's on hiatus until they can get this labor dispute taken care of. And camera number 4. Up to Lake Wenatchee we go. I have a feeling there's not too many people fishing today. I understand it's just not been a very good year for the sockeye. I'm sorry to hear about, well, it's been a good year for the sockeye. They've been sneaking around the bait. It's been a bad year for the fishermen trying to catch the sockeye is probably the more accurate way to tell it. Anyway, good morning to our friends on Dirty Face Mountain. I'm sure there's a few who live there that watch this show. I don't know. One slide to show for you. Much needed rain. And I woke up this morning at 3 o'clock. It was raining lightly. It was enough to wet the streets and the cars and the lawns, and then it kind of stopped at about 3:45. Then it picked up again, then it stopped. It was raining lightly here in the Wenatchee Valley, and so this is all coming down from the Gulf of Alaska. Puget Sound area is going to get a lot of rain. Take a look at where you live. Again, the closer you live to the crest of the Cascades, the more rain you're going to get. So the Leavenworth, Lake Wenatchee Plain area, you're going to get a little bit more rain than the Wenatchee Valley. There's a chance that folks out in Moses Lake and Ephrata won't get any rain at all because it will be spending out its energy. And again, as far as consistent rain from about 11 o'clock tonight until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, that 12-hour period. But the heaviest rain is going to be between about 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. From the National Weather Service, pretty straightforward, cloudy and rainy. We'll get up to about 79 or 80, and again, hit and miss showers all day today. The sun is taking the day off. 66 for the overnight low tonight. Rain until about 11 tomorrow morning, and then by the time we get to the afternoon, sunshine on Saturday and a high of 82, and then we're going to stay slightly below normal because it is colder air coming down from the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to be sticking around here for a while, so only about the lower 80s, below normal, but lots of sunshine on Sunday and Monday. Then we get right back up to summertime on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as we get deeper and deeper into August. But I'm digging the rain. That I like. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Friday edition on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Lots of clouds, a rather comfortable 64 degrees. Will be upper 70s anyway, with hit and miss light rain throughout the course of the day today. Pretty good dose of rain in the wee small hours of the morning. Then we dry out and see some sunshine by Saturday afternoon, but we'll have a pretty wet 12-hour period or so. It's about 9 minutes after the hour. The Lighthouse Christian Ministries has shut its doors. They closed their homeless aid center at 410 South Columbia Street. They did it yesterday. A hearing officer allowed its conditional use permit to be revoked on Monday. The Lighthouse Soup Kitchen served roughly 400 people each month, providing food and access to social programs. The city of Wenatchee moved to revoke the organization's permit in May, but Lighthouse Executive Director Sean Arrington quickly filed an appeal. Multiple complaints from businesses near the lighthouse reported problems caused by its clientele, such as trespassing, littering, and obstructing vehicular traffic. The city accused the lighthouse of violating multiple permit codes, including failure to operate within the property boundaries or to mitigate impacts to the public. City hearing examiner Andy Kottkamp ruled in the city's favor on Monday. And then Sean Arrington announced yesterday that the service center would close immediately. He said the lighthouse will continue its ministry to the homeless through other projects. A driver who pleaded guilty to bumping police officers with his vehicle while fleeing a traffic stop is now wanted for sentencing. 23-year-old Romeo Padron of Wenatchee didn't show up Wednesday in Chelan County Superior Court. He was expected to be sentenced to 4 months in jail. The case started last March during a traffic stop at Walker Avenue and Spokane Street. That's when a 1998 Ford Taurus that Padron was driving nudged a couple of Chelan County Sheriff's deputies and a Wenatchee police officer who were on foot. None of them were injured. Padron fled the scene, and a SWAT team closed down Chelan Avenue near Kittitas later that day to search a home where they thought he had fled. Well, that search was unsuccessful, and Padron was not apprehended for a couple of weeks. He pled guilty June 30th to charges of 3rd and 4th degree assault plus hit and run. Now Padron is stopped by police again on a bench warrant for failure to show up to court. The Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center is holding a contest for a new name. They want to broaden their funding opportunities for future expansion plans. Executive Director Lisa Blair told us that the center, which offers fitness classes and activities for the 50 and over crowd, has at times been denied grant funding because they have the name senior in its name. Now the center is seeking aid from the community in its rebranding efforts. Names can be submitted online or in person at the center with a daily limit of 1 submission per person. The winner will receive 2 lifetime memberships or $500 in cash. The runner-up will receive 2 annual memberships or $50 in cash. Submissions open this Friday, that's today, and they close at 4 o'clock on August 31st. Chelan County wrapped up their week of inspections yesterday on 8 important bridges throughout the county. They wrapped it up with the Peshastin Bridge. Traffic safety foreman Ryan Rush also works as one of the county's bridge inspectors, using an under-bridge inspection truck that they borrowed from the Washington State Department of Transportation to get a look at the superstructure. He outlined how the inspection process works.
We're looking for any deterioration in the concrete, in metal railings, anything like that. Girders that run underneath the bridge, the deck, sidewalks. We're looking for anything that is going bad, so we need to do repairs. Most bridges are on a 2-year cycle, and then we do have quite a few that are on an every year for any deterioration. That is Washington State's truck. So we have 2 operators that have come over from Olympia to help us out for our inspections this week. This is a special truck that basically it's a man lift, and it goes underneath so that we can inspect the areas that we can't reach from the ground.
And the Wenatchee School District is gearing up for the start of the school year. It's less than 2 weeks away. Last month, the district was bracing for immediate budget challenges as the U.S. Department of Education withheld billions in federal funding for migrant education, multilingual education, before and after school programs, and teacher training. About $2.9 million of that money was originally withheld from Wenatchee schools. It was released by July 31st, but there's still uncertainty about how much they're actually going to get. Superintendent Corey Callahar spoke with me to hear about the status of the federal funding.
It's hard to believe, but the 27th of August, a Wednesday, it's back to school for the Wenatchee School District, the largest of the school districts in north central Washington. Eastmont also starts on the 27th. Most of them do. The man to my immediate left doesn't get any time off in the summertime. Usually July is kind of quiet. Not the case this last July with Corey Callahar, the superintendent of the Wenatchee School District. You usually get a little downtime, Corey, in July, a couple of weeks off, family time.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case this year.
No, this year was very different, and it was strange for us to address budget challenges in July. That's usually not the timeline that we like to work on, but it was absolutely necessary based on what we were hearing and what was being signaled from the feds. Yeah, very necessary.
The feds, about 12%, I'm rounding off here, of the school district's budget, but this is specified money for specific programs and services provided by the federal government. You didn't know if you're going to get any money at all until the end of last month.
July 25th.
Where are we with that?
Yeah.
They've released the money, but you haven't gotten it yet? Something along those lines?
Correct. Yeah. So it's you're very correct on. We are reliant on our federal dollars from the nation, and it's for specific programs, migrant funding, multilingual funding, some of our before and after school programs, and a lot of our professional development for our teachers are all in that pocket. And what we had heard from the nation is, don't count on this money for 26-27. And we're like, okay, that gives us time to be thoughtful. We can prepare. We can do the reductions in a timely fashion. And then the funding, which has already been approved by Congress, was not released on July 1st like it usually is. And so July 7th, the superintendent of the state of Washington said, don't count on getting the money for 25-26 school year. That scared us. That's $2.7 million that we are counting on to run our programming this year. And so we spent from July 7th to July 25th figuring out how to reduce $2.7 million. But the funds were released on the 25th of July, which is, thank goodness, we love that. We can continue our programming for this year. But you're right, we don't know exactly what the apportionment we're going to receive, if it's what we were promised in the spring, or if it's going to be a different percentage of that.
Is it like a great deal of your budget based on enrollment, or is there other varying factors on how much you're actually going to get?
This part is not necessarily based on enrollment. It is targeted to specific students, and it's tracked for specific students, but our numbers don't change a lot in our migrant program and our multilingual programs, and so we're pretty solid there. We'll just have to see what is actually ultimately released.
Any idea why they didn't send you the check on the first day of July and the money wasn't released until the end of the month? What's that all about?
We heard kind of what everyone else heard, and that the funding was being checked for accuracy and different purposes and how it was being used. But to have every state in the entire nation not receive those dollars, I don't know how in 25 days you actually do an assessment on those funds and how they're used. So I'm not sure exactly what happened behind the scenes.
But going forward for the 2026-2027 school year, you're going under the assumption that money is not going to happen at all.
Absolutely.
And yet you still have a mandate to educate.
A mandate to educate and do all of the things that these programs do fund, specifically for our migrant population and our multilingual population too. So yeah, it becomes an unfunded mandate.
And my complete conversation with Dr. Kalahar will air in the back half of this program. And that is the news on this Friday. Don't forget the news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television. And if you didn't hear by now, we're pretty excited, at least a lot of people in this building are pretty excited, that we're on Roku now, and we're on Apple Fire, if you got that little stick, and that's how you watch TV. The Amazon Fire and the Apple TV and Roku, we're like out there. I'm told that's cool. So there you go. And of course, we also stream our programming 24/7, 365 on our website, NCWLIFE.com. And our news, by the way, will also be on our YouTube page. Got a news tip? Send us an email, news@NCWLIFE.com. Sports, and quite a bit of it, surprisingly enough, is next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Sports at 20 minutes after the hour. The Mariners' comeback attempt after a lengthy rain delay didn't quite pan out. In Baltimore yesterday, Orioles built a 5-0 lead. Then the game was suspended in the 6th inning. 2 hours and 18 minutes of no baseball. When the game resumed, Julio Rodriguez smacked a 2-run home run after, but the comeback bid fell short in the 9th.
Sagano's having a pitch comm issue now. Julio Rodriguez is talking to Austin Jones.
Well, when the dirt starts getting wet.
Now here comes Mike Malinsky. He just called for the ground screw. That was a really weird situation. Now Drew French is coming out to talk to Sagano, but the game's going to be halted. I don't know. Well, let's see. Here comes the tarp. Wasn't sure if this was just a ground screw working on the field, trying to get through a quick storm, but they are going to tarp the field here, the ground screw, after we just stood around and had some lovely conversations for 4 or 5 minutes.
Here's the pitch. Swung on. That is blasted right field. It is deep. It is gone. Julio, a 2-run home run right after the rain delay. And the Mariners, just like that, with one swing, down just 3. That's a way to restart for Julio.
Now we're glad that they paused the game and didn't let him hit in the driving rain. That was a blast to right center field as Julio gets the trident there in the dugout. But against this O's bullpen, you're feeling good, and now they're feeling obviously even better.
So, well, what do you do? Seattle heads to New York today. They'll be in Queens to take on the Metropolitans, the first of 3 games, 4:10 first pitch on Root Sports Northwest. And the Mariners were the only team in the American League West to see action yesterday. Pretty quiet in the world of baseball, and with the loss to Baltimore, the M's now trail the Astros by 1.5 games in the division. By the way, the Astros will host the Orioles while Seattle is in Queens. Well, the Seahawks play their second preseason NFL game tonight against the Chiefs in the rain. Head coach Mike McDonald told gathered reporters this week that fans can expect to see quite a few starters tonight at Lumen Field.
Hey, look, this is a great opportunity. It's a different setting. Obviously, there's more eyeballs on it, but we're going to go play our style of football, and it's just another. I know it's cliche, but it's like I'm looking forward to seeing our team go rip it, and then we can kind of move from there. So these guys have been working their tails off. It's hard talking to the guys on the sideline, it's hard for them to watch the game and not be a part of it.
With a preview of the game, it's the birthday boy, Eric Granstrom.
Well, good morning, Dan, and happy finally Friday. It looks like some heavy rain's coming to Western Washington. That could impact the game tonight as far as the Seahawks and the Chiefs, not as far as whether they'll play the game. They play it no matter what. It's football. But who's going to play in the game? Had a chance yesterday to get involved in a production meeting as far as the TV and the radio broadcast. We got a chance to sit down with players and coaches. We talked with Adden Dirty, who is the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks. He's out of England, by the way. He played in the NFL. He played in NFL Europe. And we asked him about his favorite play from last week's tie with the Las Vegas Raiders. And he says, actually, it was the 2 plays that turned out to be penalties. The excessive celebration call after a couple of interceptions by the defense. The rest of the guys that weren't even in the game went down to the end zone to help celebrate. Ended up in a couple of penalties. Dirty says, well, Mike McDonald says that's the price of doing business. And he said they've been trying to create this culture in camp about, togetherness and playing as a team and helping each other and supporting each other. But you never know how that's going to happen until it happened, and that was in that game last Thursday night. Big Cat Leonard Williams says the money's nice, but doesn't really matter much anymore. He said being disrespected by the NFL not to be chosen to the Pro Bowl or All-Pro last season when he felt he was one of the best defensive linemen in the game left a bad taste in his mouth. In fact, he said it has stacked chips on his shoulders going into this season. Williams says there's a real feeling of camaraderie on this year's team, unlike last year. Rookie first-round pick Gray Zabel agrees. He says his learning curve continues to grow every day when he goes up against the likes of Leonard Williams, Jaron Reed, and DeMarcus Lawrence in practice every day. We did also ask him how the soybean crop is going back in North Dakota. He says, well, like any farmer, we could always use more rain. As far as whether he has animals to go along with the crop, he says, nope. The only animals we care about are deer and pheasant to hunt. My kind of guy. A huge rainstorm is expected to hit Seattle through the day today and during the game tonight. That's right up the alley of new offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. He's reemphasized the fact that Seattle wants to be a run-first team this year. That could come in handy for tonight's torrential rain showers at Lumen Field. We'll see if the weather plays an impact on how long we see the starters in the first quarter. Kickoff set for 7 o'clock tonight. It'll be broadcast on TV on King 5 in Seattle. If you want to listen to the radio broadcast, I'll be behind the scenes doing the Seahawks radio producer work tonight with Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman and Jen Mueller, and we have a special guest in the booth for the game. This should be interesting. It'll be comedian Adam Ray. Here in Seattle with the Seahawks preview, I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCWLIFE channel.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. Again, it's at 7 o'clock tonight on King 5. Do what I do. Watch the television feed, but listen to the radio broadcast. It's the way to go. Back to baseball. Bellingham edged Portland for the West Coast League Championship last night, 2-1 in the Rose City. The Bells riding the arm of Trevor Moore. 5 innings of no-hit ball, so the Pickles' potent offense didn't do much last night. Nate Kirkpatrick of Bellingham broke the scoreless tie in the top of the 5th.
2-1 golf to left. Will it stay fair? It will, into the Pickles bullpen, and we've got our... Yeah, okay, sorry, Gary. I thought you threw up the foul side. My bad. That was gone. Nate Kirkpatrick, 321 feet out to left field. 2-2 on its way. Bouncer to second, or short, 2nd to 1, relay to first. Not in time. Runs comes in to score on the fielder's choice. Aiden Aguayo in. Look back. 0-1. Hit up the middle, into center for a base hit. Round to the bag at third. Bryson Glasgow, the throw comes back in. Right zone! Cheers! Stroop has worked the count full. Here's some punts. 3-2 runner goes. Swung on and missed. Grafton Stroop strikes out swinging on a 91-mile-an-hour pitch at the top of the zone, and your Bellingham Bells are the 2025 West Coast League champions.
Congratulations to Coach Ed Nags for Bellingham. It's their 2nd West Coast League championship and their 1st in 11 years. Monster trucks return to the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval this weekend. Track manager Jeremy Anders joined me on yesterday's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Said the trucks are back for the first time in years to help celebrate 55 years of racing at the WVSO.
Some things lined up perfectly this year to bring back monster trucks for the first time to the track in 7 years. And we're excited about it. We got a full slate of monster trucks this weekend. So we're just trying to just pack as much stuff as we can into one season and make it a big one and hopefully carry momentum to next year.
Do the monster trucks do a circuit, so you have to be able to get them when they have a weekend that's available and they're somewhere in our area?
And a lot of these tracks and fairgrounds and facilities have had the monster trucks every year in the same weekend for so long. So when he called us and said there was a weekend available, it kind of just worked out. And it's like, there's 2 weekends I have open between April 1st and this. And it's like, okay, well, we looked at our schedule and said, okay, well, let's do this one here. And it's going to work out great. They travel all over the West Coast, the group that we have here. So we're excited to have them here.
Besides the Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, Jeremy told me race fans can find the monster trucks all over town. And tonight and tomorrow, you can even ride in one.
We have at Martin's Marketplace out in Cashmere, BJ's on Sunset Highway, and then we have them on the corner of Grant Road and Highway 28 that is over there across from Fred Meyer. So they're all over the valley. That's just a few of them. We have more that are coming in that'll come in Friday. They did a show this last weekend, so they sometimes have to take a truck home and do maintenance on it and change things around like that. So they got a full slate of monster trucks to jump. They're also bringing 2 monster trucks, and you get a ride in a monster truck. So they have 2 ride trucks that you actually take rides around the track in. So we have a fan fest each day at 5 to 6 o'clock. You can go down the track, ride in a monster truck. I think it's $10 a person, and they'll have it after the show as well. So not very often you say you get to ride in a monster truck, and it's a full-size monster truck, big motor. I don't know if you don't get to go off like full-speed jumps, but they still get a little fun.
Get your tickets in advance, by the way. It's the way to go, WVSO.com. All the information is there, and they're doing it both tonight and tomorrow night. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at the bottom of the hour. For you folks in Costa Rica, I want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day. It is Liechtenstein National Day today. In Equatorial Guinea, it's your Constitution Day. I checked this morning, they have one. In Congo, it's your Independence Day. I don't know if anybody is watching this show in the Congo, but we are on the internet. But today is National Relaxation Day today. And who's kidding who with the weather? Today, it's cool, it's a little rainy, it's a little cloudy. Might be a good day just to chill. I got a couple of friends, about 3 or 4 of them, who have no off switch. They simply are constitutionally incapable of relaxing. That's never been a problem with me, but relaxing is good for you. We all know that. Sometimes you just got to shift down to second gear and chill. So relaxation can lower blood pressure, for one thing. 64% of people who practice meditation were able to lower their blood pressure enough after 3 months of meditating that they were able to come off their blood pressure medications altogether. Relaxing, chilling can lead to better mental health. It can improve your memory. It certainly can improve a person's mood. Your immune system benefits when you unplug from the world and just chill for a while. And believe it or not, it seems counterproductive, but relaxation improves productivity. When you're done relaxing and you're ready to be productive again to do whatever it is you want to do, you have a little more energy and a little more concentration. So if you haven't relaxed in a while, and it's a Friday, what the hey? Today is the day to relax. I plan on doing exactly that not too far in the future. It's 32 minutes after the hour. Today in history. At Grauman's Chinese Theater in beautiful Los Angeles, California, August 15th, 1939, 86 years ago today, the premiere of The Wizard of Oz. Do you know anybody who's never seen The Wizard of Oz? The Wizard of Oz cost a lot of money to make. So when during its initial theatrical run, it didn't make enough money. In fact, it didn't make a profit for MGM during its initial theatrical run, but then they would re-release it again and again and again in theaters, and then eventually it was broadcast on television, then it came out on home video, and now it's on streaming. You add all of that together, The Wizard of Oz is the most watched movie in film history. It's just by eyeballs watching the movie, it's number one. Again, think about it. I mean, I don't know anybody who has never seen The Wizard of Oz, for crying out loud. Well, you could on this date 86 years ago today. 2 significant days in music history, both involving the Beatles. August 15th, 1962, 63 years ago today. The day before, the Beatles decided to fire Pete Best as their drummer for the simple fact he really wasn't very good, and the other 3 were very good. So having decided to fire Pete Best, John Lennon and Paul McCartney drive from Liverpool to Skegness. That's where Rory Storm and the Hurricanes were performing, and they asked their old friend Ringo Starr to join the Beatles. Ringo was reluctant. He says, I got a good gig, and Rory is paying me $20 a week, which is good money for 1962. I got a good gig. I know you guys are good, but I don't know. And John and Paul said, I'll tell you what, we'll pay you $25 a week. Oh, and by the way, Rory Storm and the Hurricanes don't have a recording contract, and we do. We're going to make records. Ringo shaved his beard, put on the suit, and was in the Beatles. And speaking of the Beatles, a lot of essays out today. They're all over the place. I've read about 3 of them. This is the 60th anniversary of the birth of Stadium Rock. Nobody had ever done this before. At Shea Stadium in New York City, the Beatles played to nearly 60,000 fans, the famous Shea Stadium concert 60 years ago today. The Beatles received $160,000 for their performance. They were on the stage for a little over half an hour, which means they were paid $100 for each second they were on stage. Of course, nobody could hear anything. I mean, they were out in the middle of second base. They had to use the in-house PA system. They had 100-watt amps. Nobody could really hear much of anything, but that was really secondary. The Beatles make music history on this date 60 years ago today. 56 years ago today, August 15th, 1969, the Woodstock Music and Art Fair opens in Bethel, New York. Originally, it was a ticketed event. So many people showed up that they said to heck with it, and they just took down the fences and made it free. Woodstock began on this date in 1969. And we all know that Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea, is a little on the goofy side. He did something really stupid 10 years ago. He announces that North Korea, and North Korea only, would move its clock back half an hour to introduce North Korea time. That's right, they moved their clocks back 1/2 of an hour. They did that for 3 years, and then they switched the clocks back. That was 10 years ago today. What's the point of that? Historic birthday, and I mean an historic birthday, Napoleon Bonaparte, born on this date in 1769. By the time he was 30, he was the undisputed ruler of France. By the time he was 40, he controlled all of continental Europe. Then he was unemployed, of course, for about 1.5 years, and then he got another job, and that one didn't work out either. Napoleon Bonaparte, one of the giants in history, period, born in the state in 1769. Ben Affleck is really good, very good. He's talented, he can act, he can write, he can do all kinds of things. Ben Affleck, and he's only 53 years old. Happy 53rd to Ben. Happy birthday to our own Eric Grandstrom. There he is, operating the camera a couple of years ago. Eric, I have no idea how old you are. I'm sorry, I have a general idea, but I don't know exactly. Our own Eric Grandstrom celebrates some birthday today. Oh, and a happy birthday to my nephew, Kyle. I also don't know how old Kyle is. I guess that makes me a bad uncle. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. Mike Minotti's got an opinion about church and guns. Are they necessarily compatible? Mike will talk about that, and then Dr. Corey Callahart, superintendent of the Wenatchee School District, and I talking back to school. You'll see that when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Oh, happy day, Wenatchee Valley. Collins Fashions is looking forward to our famous summer weather. We are fully stocked with shorts, capris, skirts, tees, and tanks. Summer dresses have all arrived in many styles and colors. Special occasion dresses are on full display, and we have something for everyone. Collins is your Brighton headquarters with jewelry, handbags, charms, and sunglasses. We invite you to visit Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. The Grant County Fair returns to the fairgrounds in Moses Lake, August 12th through the 16th. This year's theme is American Pride countywide. All of your fair favorites are back, from the carnival to livestock shows, entertainment on the various stages, and the Moses Lake Roundup is back for the 82nd year. This year's headliner is country star Easton Corbin on Friday night. Get your tickets at gcfair.fun.
Such a good time together, and it's only just begun. Got loud guitars, a little out of tune, but they ain't got a girl like you. And I know I'm all over the road, I can't help but go. Little bit of left, little bit of right, it's hard.
This is Mike, Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, there are two churches in this community who are advocating preparing with firearms. Now, okay, I'm not sure what this has to do with Christianity, you know, but I can choose not to go to these churches if I don't want to. But my question is, who are these folks planning on shooting? Gay men who want to take their spouses shoe shopping? Transgender guys who want to read stories to kids? People who don't like Trump? I mean, these supposed Christians, they can dislike these folks if they want to, but take up firearms against them? What does that say about them? What does that say about the state of the church? Gosh, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
This fall, rev up your senses at Mahogany and Merlot, Washington's premier vintage hydroplane and boat show. Feel the roar of restored classics, the elegance of timeless design, and the thrill of speed, all on beautiful Lake Chelan. Don't miss your chance to win a free ride on a hydroplane boat. Mahogany and Merlot, October 3rd through the 5th. It's history, horsepower, and hometown fun. Admission is free.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
It's hard to believe, but the 27th of August, a Wednesday, it's back to school for the Wenatchee School District, the largest of the school districts in north central Washington. Eastmont also starts on the 27th. Most of them do. The man to my immediate left doesn't get any time off in the summertime. Usually July is kind of quiet. Not the case this last July with Corey Callahar, the superintendent of the Wenatchee School District. You usually get a little downtime, Corey, in July, a couple of weeks off, family time.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case this year.
No, this year was very different, and it was strange for us to address budget challenges in July. That's usually not the timeline that we like to work on, but it was absolutely necessary based on what we were hearing and what was being signaled from the feds. Yeah, very necessary.
The feds, about 12%, I'm rounding off here, of the school district's budget, but this is specified money for specific programs and services provided by the federal government. You didn't know if you're going to get any money at all until the end of last month.
July 25th.
Where are we with that?
Yeah.
They've released the money, but you haven't gotten it yet? Something along those lines?
Correct. Yeah. So it's you're very correct on we are reliant on our federal dollars from the nation, and it's for specific programs, migrant funding, multilingual funding, some of our before and after school programs, and a lot of our professional development for our teachers are all in that pocket. And what we had heard from the nation is, don't count on this money for 26-27. And we're like, okay, that gives us time to be thoughtful. We can prepare. We can do the reductions in a timely fashion. And then the funding, which has already been approved by Congress, was not released on July 1st like it usually is. And so July 7th, the superintendent of the state of Washington said, don't count on getting the money for 25-26 school year. That scared us. That's $2.7 million that we are counting on to run our programming this year. And so we spent from July 7th to July 25th figuring out how to reduce $2.7 million. But the funds were released on the 25th of July, which is, thank goodness, we love that. We can continue our programming for this year. But you're right, we don't know exactly what the apportionment we're going to receive, if it's what we were promised in the spring, or if it's going to be a different percentage of that.
Is it like a great deal of your budget based on enrollment, or is there other varying factors on how much you're actually going to get?
This part is not necessarily based on enrollment. It is targeted to specific students, and it's tracked for specific students, but our numbers don't change a lot in our migrant program and our multilingual programs, and so we're pretty solid there. We'll just have to see what is actually ultimately released.
Any idea why they didn't send you the check on the first day of July and the money wasn't released until the end of the month? What's that all about?
We heard kind of what everyone else heard, and that the funding was being checked for accuracy and different purposes and how it was being used. But to have every state in the entire nation not receive those dollars, I don't know how in 25 days you actually do an assessment on those funds and how they're used. So I'm not sure exactly what happened behind the scenes.
But going forward for the 2026-2027 school year, you're going under the assumption that money is not going to happen at all.
Absolutely.
And yet you still have a mandate to educate.
A mandate to educate and do all of the things that these programs do fund, specifically for our migrant population and our multilingual population too. So yeah, it becomes an unfunded mandate.
Which a lot of folks are pretty familiar with. You have to do this. We're just not going to write you a check to have it done. Tuesday night, the 12th, Sean did his presentation. The guy who controls the checkbook, knows where the money goes, did a good job.
Yeah.
To give you a preview of the budget for this year. You'll finalize it on the meeting the Tuesday of the 26th, which is the day before school starts.
Yeah.
He walked you through what to expect. Obviously, revenues and expenditures still aren't evening out, and that's something that you have to concern yourself with on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we had our budget hearing last night. The great thing about what Sean does is he prepares us in June with the general fund and the other funds. And so this year we are expecting it to change dramatically based on what our July looked like. Thankfully it didn't, and we were able to kind of have a very similar presentation. But you're correct, over time, our unrestricted fund balance is getting smaller based on enrollment decline. As you know, we are making budget reductions so that we stay afloat and we stay in the black, which is a good spot for us to be. And those predictions are based on where we lose student during our enrollment. As we mentioned earlier, 1,100 students in 12 years we've lost in our enrollment decline. And that's a variety of factors, whether people are not having as many kids. We also have more options in the community, and we know that our graduating classes are much larger than our incoming kindergarten classes. So if we can predict it, we can plan for it, and that's what we're trying to do, Dan.
The long-term prognostication, though, looks like the numbers will eventually start ticking up, perhaps towards the end of this decade.
We're sure hoping so. The latest we've seen from the birth rates indicate that there's an upswing there. And, however, we need to encourage families to either move into the area and access our world-class education or continue to stay in the area and have kids.
Eventually, they will count the actual heads, about mid-October is when they do an actual real live count. And they do that a couple of times in the autumn, something like that? Walk me through when they come through and you say to the superintendent of public instruction, this is exactly how many kids we have coming to us.
Yeah, you're spot on. We do count heads every day the first couple weeks, and then once a month from then on. And so the first count in October, which will be the first school day in October, that's what we send to the superintendent of public instruction. And by that time, most of our parents and families and our students are back in action, and it's nice to be able to have a month to just get everybody back in the doors.
Just to break it down, we mentioned Sean Fitzgerald, who runs the finance department for the school district. 54% of the funding for the school district is state funds that are kind of, you can do what you want to. It's a little more than half of the budget is money from the state that you have fairly discretionary spending on.
Correct.
And then 20% is state funding with strings attached. Now we talked about the federal funding and teacher education and the migrant teaching. 20% of the state funding with strings attached consists of what? The limits on what the state says you can spend this 20% on.
Yeah, and there's a whole variety of different things there. Some of it has to do with professional education or professional learning for our teachers. We also have bilingual dollars that come from the state, and all of our comprehensive program review funding comes from the state. So all the things that we have to do to keep in compliance with the state are all under those guidelines and dollar amounts. So there's a lot of places where we're able to spend dollars where we need to for education, and then a lot of those places where it's really kind of triangulated into one space, and that's where the state funds land.
And it should be pointed out, only 12% of local taxes keep the school district afloat. That's people always misconstrue that. They think it's a lot more. It really isn't.
It really isn't. No, that is our local dollars funding the student experience. Yeah, and we appreciate that.
Yep. We're here in the courtyard of Wenatchee High School, and starting on August 27th, if you're a freshman through a senior and you have a cell phone, things are going to change around here for a lot of people. a much needed improvement. Talk about this.
Yes, absolutely. So phone-free WSD is the plan for the fall of 2025 here that we're in. What is great is our kindergartners through 8th graders, they have not had their phones in the buildings for a number of years, which is great. At a high school level, it's been a little different. Students are not allowed to have their phones during the instructional time period, but before school, after school, lunch, and during class breaks, they can have their devices. And that will be the change that we're looking forward to this fall. And it's really, a lot of it is centered around our students' mental health and some of the anxieties that come along with cell phone use during the school day. And truly trying to capture that outside of our school walls and maintain the integrity of the instructional environments.
How is it implemented and how is it enforced?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So one of the things that has been done over the past few years is just an idea of asking students to keep their phones in their backpacks or put away so they're out of sight. And that works to a certain degree, but it doesn't work holistically. And so we're implementing our Yonder pouches this year. And so when students come into Wenatchee High School or they come into Westside High School or the Tech Center, their IDs are checked as a safety security precaution each and every day. And as they check those IDs, their phone will be placed into a pouch that locks. It's got a magnetic lock on it. And it'll be locked for the day. And then when students leave the building for the end of their school day to go to running start or for any sort of appointments, they'll unlock their phone and they'll be free to use that.
Even though it's been expanded, remodeled, and changed over the last 53 years, the bottom line is Wenatchee High School is 53 years old. This is a fact.
It is a fact.
And part of your job is forward thinking 10, 20 years down the line about facilities. You put together a facilities committee, kick the tires a little bit.
Yep.
Couple of proposals for a new Wenatchee High School. Both of them have the same thing, building a new high school to the south of the current campus where the football practice field is and the track is, while keeping this campus intact, and then tearing down this building when the new high school is built. And the other one is keeping basically the athletic wing intact as it is now and building a new high school with a slightly smaller footprint because you wouldn't have to build a new gymnasium and things like that.
Yes.
Those are the two ideas that have been floated by the facilities committee. One way or the other, this is going to have to be addressed. You can't keep duct tape and baling wire and keeping this place running.
No.
Things break, things get old.
They do, and that's kind of where we are right now with we have a variety of aging facilities in the school district, Wenatchee High School being the oldest in that inventory. And we know that the expenses that we are doing each and every year just to keep the system running, keep the hallways cool, keep the hallways warm, it's just an exorbitant amount of dollars that actually does land on some taxpayer funding, and we want to make sure that we're responsible and frugal with those dollars as well. The other part of it is that we would improve the HVAC systems in multiple schools throughout the district as well. So that was the need, and that was what our facilities committee said. We have to take care of this in our own community.
And then there's out of the capital budget, there's just things that break.
Yes.
And you have to keep that in mind. You have to budget that before the school year, assuming something's going to go wrong.
Well, and as we speak right now, there are 3 compressors from our HVAC system that cool Wenatchee High School that are being replaced right now. We had to do it again. We had to do it most recently in 2022, and now we're doing it again. So those are the costs that keep recurring, unfortunately.
One of the nice things about the Wenatchee School District, among other things, very low turnover in staff, teachers specifically.
Yeah.
Once they get a toehold here, they have a tendency to like it here. I took a look at the staff pages from this year to last year. It's pretty much the same folks.
Yes, a lot of the same folks are there. I think last year when we had to do some major budget reductions to the tune of $8.9 million, we did lose some of our new staff members and some of our provisional staff. So unfortunately, that did happen. But you're right. Once a staff member is tenured in the Wenatchee School District, they have a tendency to stay.
Columbia Elementary School is going to be the new home of the Valley Academy of Learning. He talked about one of the reasons enrollment is going down is, it went down during COVID and some people just stayed with homeschool and then private schools and charter schools opened, and the lower birth rate, all of that contributing to that. The Valley Academy of Learning is under your umbrella,
it sure is.
And they needed the new home and they're going to have one.
Yes, absolutely. If those of you that are familiar with where Valley Academy of Learning used to be out in the north side of town, it was in a great facility, but it was an old carpet warehouse that we turned into a school. Parking was inadequate. There were no green spaces for our students. There really no opportunity for them to get out of doors. And having Columbia be empty for last year really presented an opportunity for us to put Valley Academy in a proper school, have it with green spaces, playgrounds, gyms, music rooms, all the things that our students need to really nurture their education.
Every year they start the school year with a big pep rally.
Yes.
At the Wenatchee High School auditorium. We'll close with this. It's not for the just the folks who live and work around the campuses of the Wenatchee School District. Anybody can show up.
Absolutely.
And you give your annual pep talk. That is when?
That is Tuesday, August 19th. We start off at 7:30 with a community fair, so we have a lot of vendors that come in. Sage Hills Church is providing breakfast and some food trucks. And then at 8:30, the drumline and the Golden Marching Band or the Golden Apple Marching Band will take us down to the auditorium, and we'll spend an hour just getting pumped about the 25-26 school year.
The office of the superintendent of the Wenatchee School District believes in open communication, folks.
Yeah.
Corey is always a phone call or an email away. He's really good
Appreciate
about answering that. You ready to hit the ground running, my friend?
I'm ready. We're going to have a great year. It's going to be awesome.
Sorry you didn't have much of a summer vacation,
Hey,
but
no
maybe
worries.
you'll earn one next year.
I hope so. We'll do it.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the P&W for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition. Some people say pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. Well, those people have obviously never tried Abby's Big Hawaiian, featuring loads of Canadian bacon and Dole pineapple. Right now at Abby's.com, order this juicy, cheesy, and legendary pizza at a mouth-watering price. Celebrate the summer of good with an Abby's Big Hawaiian.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers. Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Still overcast, 63 degrees here in the big city. It was raining lightly off and on between about 1:30 in the morning or so till about 4. Then it tapered off. Then we had some light showers. Right now it is currently not raining in most of our viewing area, but the forecast is just going to be little spittles of rain throughout the course of the day today. The closer you live to the crest of the Cascades, the more rain you're going to get. But boy, do we need it. How much rain we're going to get? That's kind of a hit and miss. We can tell you that most of the heaviest rain, and even if the heaviest rain overnight tonight is not going to be real heavy, it's going to be light rain when it does rain. But it looks pretty good between about 11 o'clock tonight till about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. On Saturday morning is we're going to have light rain pretty much throughout that entire period, with the heaviest rain forecast right now between about 2 a.m. to about 5 a.m. when we're all sleeping. So this is the kind of a weather pattern that we usually don't see in the middle of August, but we're going to see it today and about half of tomorrow. From the National Weather Service, lots of clouds, off and on showers throughout the course of the day today. We're about 80 degrees, so slightly cooler than normal. No sunshine today, by the way. Sun's taking the day off. 66 for the overnight low tonight. And again, rain, consistent rain, light rain from about 11 o'clock tonight until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, with the heaviest rain between about, say, 2 to about 5 a.m. while we're all sleeping. But it does smell good. Rain tomorrow morning. It'll be done by about 11. We'll see sunshine by Saturday afternoon. Still cool, though. This is cold air coming down from the Gulf of Alaska on the slow pressure system. That's why we're going to have some of the cooler temperatures that you see, with a high of only 82 on Sunday, but still lots of sunshine. Same deal on Monday, so we're still going to have some cool air trapped in there. And then August will be back by this time next week. Have a good and safe weekend. Take us along this weekend. We're portable. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.